Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Guys, smash the like button on this video. Really smash the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Share the video as always, guys. You guys know the score by now. Also, leave a comment to help the algorithm. Make sure you leave the comment on this video. So, guys, yesterday, Vergil Ortiz beats down Micheal McKinson. I actually stayed up and watched the fight. McKinson got stopped in the 9th round. This was a fight which I thought that Ortiz would have a little trouble early on, and then Ortiz would actually find his way. It was actually, the fight didn't actually go how I thought it would. McKinson came out and I thought he won the first round. He was looking good. Then all of a sudden, McKinson kind of went into his shell. And Ortiz was kind of teeing off on him and hitting him with a lot of shots. And I thought, it looks like a matter of time. But McKinson showed a lot of toughness. And actually, Ortiz was hitting him with a lot of shots. And McKinson wasn't really being affected that much. You know, McKinson was taking good shots and he wasn't going down. He showed a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, and I thought, whoa, this guy's got a pretty good chin, and this might get interesting. But look, I felt like McKinson won the first round, and the second round I had Ortiz winning, the third round I had Ortiz winning, the fourth round I had Ortiz winning, the fifth round I had Ortiz winning. But then there was a little shift in the sixth. I felt like McKinson won the 6th and 7th. And going into the 8th round, the commentators felt like it was a whitewash from Ortiz, but I didn't agree. I actually had it 4-3 Ortiz going into the 8th. And I felt like Ortiz had started to build up some momentum. And I was like, McKinson had started to build some momentum. And it looked like McKinson was getting comfortable. He started showboating a little bit with his hands down. And I thought, this guy's getting into his groove. This might start to get very interesting. Very interesting. Because Ortiz was loading up on shots. He was missing wildly. I can see why a good skilled boxer would give Ortiz a lot of trouble. But McKinson started to give Ortiz a lot of problems. I always said that the problem McKinson would have, he has literally zero power. And a guy that has zero power, and when you're in there with someone as relentless and vicious, because Ortiz is vicious, it's very difficult to keep them off for 12 rounds. And as tough as McKinson was, it felt like it would be a matter of time before Ortiz lands something or wears him down. And that's what happened in the 8th round. In the 8th round, Ortiz landed a body shot and it almost crippled McKinson. He went down and effectively that punch ended the fight. Now, I don't know what happened. I still don't know whether there was an injury or what happened, but McKinson got caught with a shot, and it looked like in the corner when he went back after the 8th round, they were saying that his hip, he said something that my hip's gone or something like that. I don't know whether the shot pulled his hip out or I don't know what was wrong with him, but there was something clearly wrong. The 9th round started and I don't even know if Ortiz landed a shot, and McKinson went down. He clearly was in a lot of trouble. Clearly something had either it was the body shot or either his hip had, something came out. I don't know. But he didn't look right. I don't know. A body shot can wind you, and it can wind you for a long time. I've been winded with a kick to the body, so I know what it's like to be winded, and it can take the wind out your sails. But these are professional fighters that are used to probably getting caught with good body shots. They're able to recover a lot quicker maybe than us. But it was a case where I feel like he either got injured or he just couldn't recover from the body shot. Ortiz, and once Ortiz knew at that point it was only going to get worse, Ortiz was just going to become more vicious, and McKinson was was just going to get hurt badly. So I think it was right for them to throw in the towel, because I don't think Mickinson had any chance. Also, at that point, I had it 4-3 going into the 8th. With the knockdown in the 8th, that would have, Ortiz would have started running away with it, because he would have gone well ahead on points as well. I actually think going into the 8th round, the fight was pretty close, 4-3, and I think the fight was becoming very interesting. And if that punch didn't land, it would have been interesting to see how the fight would have actually played out, because, like I said, the fight looked like it was shifting in Mickinson's, I won't say in his favor, but I felt like the momentum was shifting, and I felt like Mickinson was getting far more comfortable with what he was doing, and it was started becoming a much more interesting fight, because Ortiz, prior to the 6th round, he had dominated 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th round, and then Mickinson for me won the 6th and 7th, which made the fight relatively close, because I had Mickinson winning the 1st round. So yeah, I thought Mickinson did well. I thought he did well he did well with the resources he had. I don't think he's got any power. And I think Ortiz is not just a puncher, he's also a good boxer. He's very relentless. He's a very good pressure fighter, and he's a problem for anyone in the division. Obviously, we clearly saw the weaknesses in Ortiz. He's defensively at times a bit, a bit weak, a bit open. Also, he can be outboxed. He loads up on his shots a lot. And against someone like Terence Crawford, that could be a problem, because Crawford has power. And we saw against Velasquez that, Ortiz can be hurt. Ortiz got wobbled, and someone as good a boxer as Crawford would be a problem. Now, the other thing is that Mickinson was a lot more physically stronger than I thought as well. It wasn't that easy for Ortiz to bully Mickinson. Mickinson was fairly strong. Crawford is also quite strong physically, although he's not a natural welterweight. He's pretty strong. He's not a guy that you can bully around like that. He's a very strong dude. And that's probably from his wrestling background. He's comes from a wrestling background where, he's a pretty strong guy. Although he's not that muscular, but he's a very strong guy. So yeah, that would be interesting as well. I think Spence would be a problem for Ortiz, but again, Ortiz has firepower. There's no doubt about it. Ortiz has serious firepower, and he's relentless. He's a force. He's a force of nature. There's no question. But I think I do think someone like Terence Crawford would be a very, very tough fight for Vergil. I do. But Vergil is a good fighter, don't get me wrong. I felt like in this Mickinson fight, Mickinson did expose a few weaknesses. And I think his weaknesses we probably knew about prior to that. Also, I think Mickinson gave him his hardest test. And it's funny what a young, hungry, unproven fighter like Mickinson can do in a ring. And if you look at Ortiz has faced a lot of good fighters, a lot of accomplished fighters, like a Hooker, who's a world champion. Who else did he fight? Velasquez, who you would say is a lot more accomplished than Mickinson. But Mickinson probably gave him his hardest fight. You know why? Because Mickinson, although he's unproven, although he hadn't fought at this level, he's a young, hungry fighter, undefeated fighter that had never lost before and didn't want to lose. And he was doing his best to win the fight. He wasn't just there to survive. He was there to win. And I think Sergio Mora mentioned that on commentary, that there was a lot of fighters that fought Vergil Ortiz that were just there to survive. Mickinson wasn't there to survive. He was actually there to win. And that's the hunger, the desire, the fact that he's undefeated. He was going in there, and it's quite. This is the thing. It just shows you what a young, hungry fighter can do, and they're a lot harder to beat than a washed up or a guy that is a has-been, or a guy that was a great fighter. Because a guy that was a great fighter, right, or has achieved a lot, he's been and then done that. It might just be a payday for him. So if the going gets tough, he might just quit. Because he's already been there, done it, made his money. He doesn't have to go through the pain. Mickinson hasn't been there and done that. He wants to be great. Mickinson wants to be great. So those type of fighters that are coming through young, hungry, they're harder to beat because they want to be great. And that's why Vergil Ortiz said it was the hardest fight of his career. It doesn't surprise me because Mickinson was there to win. Mickinson was daring to be great. He was daring to be great. He went over to America and he was trying to beat Vergil Ortiz. You know, he wanted a. If he had won that fight, where would that have taken Mickinson? I do think that a fight with Mickinson and Conor Benn makes a lot of sense down the road. I don't think Conor Benn said that if he loses the fight, he ain't going to be interested. I think it would be a very difficult fight for Conor Benn. I don't think it would be an easy fight. I think the same thing might happen where Conor Benn might just be too relentless and too powerful because Mickinson has literally no power. And that's a big problem when you fight. And I think Mickinson might have this problem at elite level against anyone because he just has literally no power. You know, he's equivalent like a Paulie Malignaggi. He has zero power to really trouble these guys. And that would be a huge problem. Ortiz, on the other hand, Ortiz is a problem for anybody. Ortiz could be a big, big problem because you think about someone like Ortiz, a pressure fighter, punches hard, he punches in bunches. A Crawford fight would be very interesting. I just think Crawford will counter him all day long. And I think Crawford will be a big, big problem for Vergil Ortiz. But having said that, I can see how Vergil Ortiz would be a problem for Crawford as well because this man's very physically strong. He punches very hard. And I don't care. If he hits you, you're going to know about it. And especially if he keeps hitting you, you're going to know about it. So, like I said, I think that would be a very, very good fight. I would like Spence. I think Ortiz is now ready. A fight that I think could be made is Vergil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis. I don't know whether it's the right time to make that fight because they're still not world champions. I think that's probably a unification fight type of fight where we'd prefer if those guys were champions. But yeah, I would love to see those two go at it as well. I would love to see Vergil Ortiz and Conor Benn. You know, I don't think Eddie and his team are going to make that fight, but that's another fight I would like to see as well. So yeah, great performance by Ortiz. He did what he had to do. Brave performance by Mickinson as well. You know, he came up, he put up a great effort, but you know, he just came up against a very skilled, strong, young, hungry Ortiz who was just too much in the end. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Smash the like button as always, guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.